This website has 3D animations, interactive elements, a custom background effect, and a design that feels next level. And I built the whole thing with just 5 tools. Even better, these tools are actually all you need to build insane websites every single time. Here's exactly what they are and how to use them. Now, this is cool for sure, but something that I've learned from a lot of years of building websites is that no amount of fancy tools or neat animations is gonna help if the design itself isn't solid. The site has to look good naked. And the best tool to figure out a site's design foundation is the godfather of web design, Figma. But I don't use Figma the way most web designers do. I use it to build something called stylescapes. On a stylescape, I'm just bringing a bunch of my ideas with typography, colors, layouts, images, and I'm seeing how they all work together. I'm just kind of having fun and exploring. You'll notice that with stylescapes, I never really delete anything. I just kind of copy and paste it, try out different ideas, and just keep moving forward. And as I was doing that with this project, I had this idea. This site is for a personal branding agency. The brand tone is supposed to be modern, cinematic, but also have an expensive feel. So what if instead of photos of people, we used a classical statue bust as the centerpiece? You mix that with some sans serif fonts and it gives the whole thing an old meets new feel that I think communicates modern vibe with classic luxury. Sounds awesome, right? The problem is, I can't make a 3D statue to save my life. Sure, like many of you, I tried Blender for a hot second and wasn't really able to make it past basic shapes. Now, granted, these aren't bad, but they're nowhere near the detail of an actual face. That's where a tool called Magnific comes in. This has actually been around for a while. It used to go by the name FreePic, but recently they added some amazing AI image generation, and it's honestly one of the best that I've used. FYI, this isn't sponsored by Magnific or anyone else on this video, but hey, if any of you businesses are out there watching this, I'm here. The first couple attempts were pretty rough. And listen, this is gonna be true with all AI tools. You will never get it in just one prompt. But if you're patient and you keep trying different approaches, eventually something comes out that's really good. So despite what some online folks say, no one is some kind of prompting genius. They're just willing to keep going until it gets right. After a few adjustments, I got something really close to the idea of what I was hoping to make. And then to go on to make this 3D with Magnific, I had to create a few angle variations of the same image. Then I just let Magnific do its magic and look what it came up with. Now I can add this to my stylescape to see how it all fits in together, and this is looking really great. But listen, building really great websites is only part of the job as a web designer. There's also learning how to find clients, figuring out what they actually want, learning how to keep projects from dragging on for months and months and months when they should have just taken weeks. This is the stuff that has taken me 10 plus years to learn. And that's exactly why I built the high profit process. It's everything that I have put together for my web design business packed into one system. So you'll learn how to find clients, how to win them once you find them, and then how to go on to deliver world-class websites. If you want to know the moment that it's available, the link to join the waitlist is in the first line of the description. So at this point, I've got all the design direction that I need. We've got the Geist font for all of our headlines, Playground font, which is from Pangram Pangram. It's a really cool script font that gives it that luxury feel. A simple dark color palette with a gold accent, and then we're rounding it all out with our statue. Now, most designers would take this and then go on to wireframes. Then after wireframes, they'd go on to really detailed mockups within Figma. But the web builder that I use makes those steps unnecessary. I go straight from my stylescape to building out the actual page and Show It. And the reason that I can skip wireframes is because Show It actually feels like a design tool. I'm not having to fight with rigid grids or structured layouts just to get something moved to where I want it. All of the layout decisions are happening right here in the builder instead of a separate mockup that I just have to rebuild anyways. And I've been loving how sites are playing with layers on each canvas. So text showing up slightly behind images. It just kind of keeps everything from feeling flat. So let's move the top of the hero text behind the statue to give it even more depth. It's subtle, but it definitely adds some complexity. And honestly, I love subtle little design choices. And this is looking good, but I don't just want to have a static image on this section. I want it to be living and breathing. I want this statue to move a little bit and interact with the user. And now it used to be that any kind of 3D interaction on a website meant that you had to do some pretty deep work in JavaScript or the canvas or even WebGL. But there's one tool that makes working with 3D objects on a website way easier. It's called Spline. I can literally upload the 3D statue that Magnific made and make adjustments, and this is what's gonna live on the website itself. So let's add a little bit of gloss to the statue, and then let's create an animation where the statue just kind of follows the cursor. To do that, we need to create what's called a look event within Spline. So we'll do that, adjust some of the settings, and just like that, the statue is following my cursor. Like the Mona Lisa's eyes follows you around while you look at her. Maybe not that creepy, but maybe. Getting it onto our website is actually super simple. We're just gonna go to Export, then Viewer. We're gonna copy this embed code, take this back over to show it, and paste it in an embed element, and then bam, it's right there. All right, this might be enough just to say we're done. And honestly, this is the point where most web designers would just say, ship it. I don't want to think about it anymore. But as the web space gets more and more competitive and AI can just kind of spit out decent looking pages in seconds, we've got to take it from a 90 to a 100. And that last 10% is what makes a good website turn insane. I want there to be a little bit of movement in the background. And I always love when there's a little texture on a site itself. That kind of bridges the gap between the real world and the digital world. There's a tool that I've been using a lot more lately, and it's called Unicorn Studios. You can actually do some really cool stuff with it, but I actually love using it to take an image and create some movement within that image and even a little bit of animation as well. So let's take a picture of some clouds. Seriously, that is all that this is, but we're gonna add some effects on top of it. We'll click the effect icon. You'll see there's a lot of effects to choose from, but I'm gonna use the FBM effect. And out of the box, this is not what we want. So we're gonna make some adjustments in the properties panel, and this is looking pretty good, but we can keep adding effects on top of that. So let's come back over here, and I'm gonna add some film grain because you guys know I love me some grit. Now, final step. We're gonna take a shape that has the brand colors and then just mix it in with everything else going on. And this is perfect for our website. We copy the embed code and put it back and show it. And this is the final result. Now this is cool. And these tools are actually pretty amazing, but tools don't matter if you don't have a process behind them. How do you find clients who are actually able to afford sites like this? How do you scope out a project so you're not doing $20,000 work for only $2,000? How do you walk a client through revisions without losing your mind and getting super frustrated? That's what the high profit process is all about. My entire system for running web design projects, from finding clients, onboarding them, building the website, getting it launched without biting your nails, hoping it goes correctly, and then finally offboarding them so you can get repeat clients. Same clients that you've already won, you get them again and again and again for as long as they need your help. And if you want to be the first to know when this becomes available, there's a wait list that you can jump on right now. The link is in the first line of the description. And remember, if you don't quit, you win.